Do you remember being a kid in America and the absolute event that going to the mall was? If your mom told you you guys were going to the mall, you looked forward to it for days, maybe even weeks. And the reality is modern day in America, kids don't really have that anymore. But on the contrary, here in Thailand, things seem to be alive and well. That experience still seems to be readily available for kids and, well, everybody here, obviously, right? So what is the difference? What happened in America that did not happen here? Is it a cultural thing? Is it an Amazon thing? Are malls here completely different to what they are in America? Can you expect a different experience coming to a mall in Thailand as opposed to going to one back home? What's up, y'all? How are we doing? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So we are here in the Asok neighborhood, right in the heart of Bangkok at Terminal 21 Mall. So just for reference, before we get into anything, some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, you might think to yourself, yo, Tempus, you're saying that things are packed and busy and doing better than ever, but I don't see a lot of people. Just for reference, it's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday at around 1 p.m. So this is nothing by comparison. If you come here on a weekend or a holiday, it is absolutely rammed. You can barely walk around. And I think there's a multitude of reasons why this whole experience or, this whole side of consumerism might not be as much of a thing in America anymore, as opposed to Thailand, where it is on and popping. So we're gonna cruise around. I'm gonna show you guys around a little bit, show you some of the major differences. If you like to get your shop on, Bangkok especially, but all of Thailand, pretty much all the major cities are a great place to do it. These malls are everywhere. And I think there's quite a few things, if you're coming from America, you're used to malls back home, that will be substantially different here, and you'll probably enjoy a hell of a lot more. Now, if you live in the States, for the most part, malls are about as inconvenient as possible. I mean, it kind of sticks with the theme of America. Like if you don't own a car in most cities, it's an absolute nightmare. And malls totally fit into that category. Malls are for sure much more of a destination spot in, back home as opposed to they are in Bangkok. And that's the first major difference I think that has helped contribute towards Thailand's malls, especially Bangkok, still continuing to do well, still continuing to be busy. By the way, this is not sponsored at all. This isn't me trying to shill to get you to come here and shop. This is all honesty. But that fact of inconvenience, I think, is a huge part of it. Thailand, especially in Bangkok, when it comes to the malls here, everywhere is right off the train. There's a whole bunch of infrastructure here that is kind of designed to keep you comfortable, but also kind of designed to get you in to the buildings themselves. And when you're out and about, you're walking by, there's a multitude of reasons where you could be like, you know what? Let's actually hop in here real quick, when you might not have normally. We'll get into those specific reasons a little bit later, but I think convenience is an absolutely massive one. Me, I lived in Phoenix, and every single mall is literally 30 to 45 minutes away from the other one. So I think a lot of people find the one that they kind of like or the one that's most convenient, and then they don't really go anywhere else. As opposed to here in Bangkok, right here on Sukhumvit, it is mall, 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 mall. So even if you might not usually go to one, if you're next door, it's really easy to just hop on over to the next one. Now, I'm sure there's probably already a few of you that are telling yourself, Tempus, you really don't need to make a whole video on this. It's very simple. Amazon killed malls in America. Online shopping killed malls in America. And I can agree to an extent, but in regards to Thailand compared to America, Thailand isn't, some third world country with no internet access. Online shopping is very popular here too. In my building, every day, pretty much when I go down, I see at least 2 or 3 delivery drivers there dropping off huge, Christmas Santa sacks of packages every single day. Yes, a lot of people order stuff online here as well, but it's not everything. Granted, Amazon isn't as big here, but they do have Lazada, Shopee. There's a bunch of different options. There's not really anything you can buy at a mall that you can't buy online. So while that might help to explain it for why they helped kill American malls, I don't think that really explains why that didn't happen here in Thailand. I'm sure you've also noticed by now that, compared to most American malls, yes, some are a little bit different, but for the most part, American malls are a big building just for space for other little buildings, kind of like this as well. But at the same time, a lot of malls in Thailand, like there's obviously a theme, right? Especially here at Terminal 21. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the entire theme is every floor is a different country. It's supposed to represent an airport. You're supposed to be traveling around the world. And that's just not, it's not only the aesthetic everywhere too, it's also the stores. Like you'll start to notice, if stuff's more aligned, like all the anime stores will be on the Japanese floor. I think that's really cool. And it just, it makes it more of an experience, Now, personally, out of the entire mall, this is without a doubt my favorite floor. One thing you'll figure out pretty quick if you spend some time in the malls here in Thailand, pretty much all of them, the entire top floor is pretty much exclusively restaurants. And of course, yes, in America, we've got the food courts and stuff, but most of the time, it's kind of all like either fast food or, kind of fast food adjacent, as opposed to here in Thailand. It'll be hard to tell from this video, but this entire floor is all restaurants, all different types of food. Yes, of course, they got fast food as well if you want to grab something quick, but everything from Korean barbecue to this place looks like a hot pot Chinese place, Western food, you name it, a little bit of everything. And I think this is one of the huge contributors to why these are still such a cracking spot in Thailand, why you still see so many people here, is the mall is still a destination for the day type of event in Thailand. Even if people are just cruising by, even if they're not planning on shopping, all these restaurants, it's really easy to pull people in, right? And the cool thing about here, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed in America, but the restaurant markups in the mall are absolutely insane. Yes, in Thailand as well, you're going to pay a bit of a premium to what you might out on the street, but it's not ridiculous by any means. So I think that's another huge part of it. Even people that aren't coming to shop, whether it's going to see a movie or they're coming here to eat, there's a whole lot of other stuff that can still pull people into the building. And our last point, which, I didn't really think was that big of a deal until I was on my way over here. But now that I think about it, it might be the biggest one. Now a huge contributor, something that I constantly forget about and I'm reminded of every time I go outside, especially here in Bangkok. The weather is brutal, man. Granted, it never, gets ridiculous like it does in Arizona. It doesn't get up to 115, but especially with the humidity, if you're out in the middle of the day going up and down Sukhumvit, especially with just all the traffic and everything, it is just miserably hot. And all the things we mentioned earlier, the experience, the food, all the different stores, a lot of, in America, most malls have a bunch of just the same stores, right? In Thailand, you see that a bit, but a lot of the time there's very specific stores in certain places and not others. But on top of all that, it is so hot and just miserable out. I can imagine, if you're walking or you're going to get a coffee or something, it could be really easy to kind of talk yourself out of wherever you're going and just pull into the mall instead. So I don't think it's a one specific thing that, malls are still so cracking in Thailand compared to America. I think it's a multitude of things. I think the whole shopping experience, Thai people still have a much different idea. I've always been that way too. I don't get nearly as much fulfillment out of ordering something online as I do going into the store and buying the same thing. I don't know if I'm the only one who's that way. Let me know if you guys feel the same. I just like going into places and looking for stuff and finding it and buying it in the store. I don't know what that is, if it's retail therapy or what, but I think that definitely has something to do with it. So if you are coming to Thailand, Bangkok especially, even if you're not much of a shopper or you don't want to come in here and go crazy, I think it's totally worth checking out. If you got some time to kill, come to the mall, hang out. They've pretty much all got really nice movie theaters, which is another thing we'll get into. I think that kind of deserves its own video. I loved going to the movies when I was a kid, and in America, I think that has died for a lot of people. It is also another thing that is alive and well here in Thailand. And it's a completely different experience compared to America. So I'll be sure to make that video for you guys soon. If that's something you want to see, let me know down below. As far as I can see, I don't think malls in Thailand are going anywhere. And, you know, I think it could be easy to think that, oh, well, yeah, it's a vacation spot. Everybody in there is foreigners. I don't know if you guys have been able to tell from the videos. Yes, there's a lot of foreigners here, but there's also a lot of Thais as well. So I don't think they're going anywhere. I'm happy about that. Even just the smell of a mall is like nostalgic for me. I still love the experience. So if you are coming, got some time to kill, highly recommend coming and checking it out. Depending on what you're looking for, if you do want to do some shopping, there's normal quote unquote malls, especially in Bangkok. There's fancy malls with all the designer places if you've got it like that. So I say go for it. If you did make it this far in the video, thank you so much for hanging out. It's been a fun one to make because one, I like coming here and it's nice to be not out on the streets, absolutely sweating my ass off. So if you did make it this far, I really appreciate you being here. We've got a big month coming up for the channel. So if you want to see some more videos from Thailand, you know what to do. But smelling all this food, I got to go take care of something. So I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a great rest of your day.